Today we're gonna install the Baja Designs S1 headlight onto the Motocompacto. Let's get started. First thing first, we're gonna lay down the Motocompacto to the side. Underneath the Motocompacto, there's 4 screws, so we're gonna take those off. Once those 4 screws from the bottom are removed, using plastic pry bars, we're gonna go around the split section of the body panel to separate it. It's gonna be quite difficult, so be patient with it and take your time. Found that laying it on the left side is a little bit easier to remove. First thing we're gonna do is lift up the wheel release so that it's in the upward position. Next, we're gonna follow the panels, walk around the panels just to get all the tabs to separate. You can see that the right panel actually overlays the left panel, so that's the reason why laying it to the left side is a lot easier to remove. The center of the panel has 2 Velcro, so you can kind of lift that up, and once you lift it up, you can slide it upwards and it'll come right off. Once the right panel is off, go ahead and stand the bike up and remove the left panel. Once the panels are off, we're gonna locate the wire and the connector that comes out of the headlight. So we're gonna follow the wire and it's gonna lead to this foam tape right here. Once you locate the connector, push on the little tab to release it. Now with the Phillips screwdriver, we're gonna remove these 4 Phillips screws. There's gonna be 2 on each side. Once we locate the charge wire, we're gonna remove it out of the retainer. Squeeze the little clip on the connector to separate it. Now that we have the headlight connector disconnected, the charge connector disconnected, we could go ahead and remove the original headlight mount. I'm gonna feed the charge wire through the little hole. And there we go. Now we're gonna do a assembly on the Chimera headlight mount with the Baja Designs S1 LED. We're gonna remove the original charge connector and the rubber grommet from the original mount. So to do that, we just gotta remove these 2 Phillips screws. To remove the rubber grommet or the rubber cover, you just simply pull on it and it'll pop right off. Now we're gonna assemble the charge connector or the charge port onto the Chimera mount, and you're just gonna reuse the same screw from the original mount. You gotta tighten it just enough. You don't have to over tighten it. Once it's snug, it's good to go. Once the charge port is in position, you can go ahead and install the rubber cover. Now we're gonna install the Baja S1 onto the Chimera mount. Once the screw is in position, you just have to tighten this snug enough. Have a little bit of tension on the headlight adjustment and the tilt, so it kind of stays into position. So the good thing about these screws is that it already comes with Loctite already pre-applied on the screws. When you adjust it up and down, it kind of rotates with the light. It wouldn't unscrew. Once you get the Chimera headlight mount all assembled, it's time to put everything back into position. Using the original Phillips screws, we're going to go ahead and secure the Chimera mount onto the chassis. I'm going to start with the top one first. Now we're going to screw the bottom one in. Once we get the bottom one in, now you can tighten up the top. It doesn't have to be over tightened. Next, we're going to guide the charge wire connector through the original routing. I want to put it onto this bracket and then reconnect it. Put it back onto the connector holder. Once that's in place, I'm going to put the lower screw back on. Okay, once everything's in position, just go ahead and double check to make sure that all the screws are all nice and snug. Now, we're gonna take the light wire and connect it back onto the chassis. So this light connector, there's actually a little tab that's facing up. You gotta make sure that that's aligned with the clip because it has to match the polarity. So positive and positive, negative and negative. Once we got that, now we're just gonna bundle the wires up. Once we have everything installed, go ahead and turn on the Motocompacto and make sure that the light is fully functioning. Once you verify that everything is working, go ahead and turn off the Motocompacto, and we're gonna replace all the panels back on. Starting with the left side first. Hook it into place. Now the right panel. So make sure that the panel hooks into place on the top. Once the top of the panel is into position, we'll go ahead and squeeze all these panels together. Once the panels are all set in position, go ahead and replace the 4 screw on the bottom. Again, all you have to do is just snug them up. It doesn't have to be super tight. Once everything is back together, you can go ahead and adjust the tilt of the headlight based on your preference and how much of the road you want to see. Now you can enjoy a safer riding and brighter headlights. So the awesome thing about Chimera headlight conversion using the Baja Design S1 headlight is that all the original functionality still works, such as the dust cover for the charge port, the blink function for daytime riding, and the nighttime mode, which is full power, no blink at all. And you can also add different accessories that matches the style of your Motocompacto, such as amber lens, all the Baja Design rock covers, which also has the amber cover as well, so you can pop it on and off. You have full accessibility to that.